Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In our last video, we finished a Luigi mission and ended right here by his lockup. And now we head to the only available mission on the map, which is the next Luigi mission. So let's learn a little bit about Luigi here as we head over to his club. So according to the wiki, Luigi is a character in GTA, the whole GTA series, and he's a main character here in GTA 3. He's also referenced in The Introduction, which is a prequel to San Andreas, and in Liberty City Stories, with the appearance of his business partway through the game. Luigi is voiced by Joe Pantoliano, who has starred in The Sopranos. Okay, so here is our next mission. It's called Drive Misty for Me. The basic premise of this mission is to pick up Misty and drive her over to Joey's. Simple as pie. Okay, so just to remind you a little bit more about how we met Luigi, because it happened in the very first video in this series. In 2001, Luigi was accused by the Liberty Tree newspaper of being a pimp, and although he denied all the accusations, his lawyer appeared to confirm this accusation. 8-Ball, an old friend of Luigi's, introduces Luigi to Claude, who's looking for work after escaping from a police convoy, and that's where we met Luigi in the first episode of this video series. Okay, so 3 objectives for Drive Misty for Me, the mission we're currently on. Number 1 is to get a vehicle. Check. Number 2 is to go pick up Misty. You just have to drive into the blue marker and then hit the horn button to let her know that you're here. Then enjoy the incredibly slow walk from Misty's apartment building. She lives in that building right there, over to your car. And then we just have to take Misty to Joey's. The standard failure conditions apply. Getting wasted or getting busted means you failed the mission. And then the only other fail state is Misty dying. So I intended to kill Misty on purpose, but it happened in my playtesting that she just died on her own a couple of times. So didn't have to go out of my way to do that. For completing this mission, you get $1,000, and you unlock not only the next Luigi mission, which is Pump Action Pimp, but you also open or unlock the chain of Joey missions, because we're dropping her off right here at Joey's, and we're going to meet Joey in this cutscene right here. And you also unlock the Marty Chunk's chain of phone missions. So this mission unlocks a lot of stuff. I'm going to point out there's some extra cars in this garage. So besides the BF injection, that blue vehicle that we were able to just walk right through, we saw 2 or 3 extra cars during this cutscene right here. And I'm going to explore later in this video whether or not those cars are actually there during the mission or right after the mission. Okay, so fortunately, nobody dies in this mission, but we do have one piece of trivia from the wiki. The title might be a reference to the 1971 film Play Misty for Me, directed and starring Clint Eastwood. Okay, so we did the mission vanilla, and now we're going to try to explore some of the oddities of this particular mission. I'm going to do the no collision car glitch. Remember, typically you can only do that glitch in a taxi while you're on Taxi Driver. But the key isn't being on Taxi Driver. The key to making this mission work is that there is a passenger in the passenger seat. That's the key. And so you could do this no collision glitch in any mission where an NPC is going to follow you into a car. So here the turtle head truck just like drove right on top of Misty. Reminds me of like the Wicked Witch of the West or East or whatever in the beginning of Wizard of Oz, when the 2 legs and feet are sticking out with the leggings on the witch. Okay, so recall, I'm going to come down here to the crusher, and I'm going to hold the look back button, and then I'm going to get out of the car. And then Misty's going to get out of the car, and then I'm going to try to get back into the car, which is going to put Misty, like give her instructions to get back into the car before I'm even able to get in. So she got back in because she could tell that I was trying to get in. So we yank her out, and we have our collision-proof car, which will drive away. And I just want to demonstrate, indeed, it's collision-proof. And I'll also point out that as soon as I get out of any collision-proof car, I can no longer get in. And so I was curious to see whether or not Misty would be able to get into this collision-proof car. So first we're going to drive into her just to, again, illustrate it is totally collision-proof. And eventually I drive into her again to see her kind of, like I want her to be in the car to have to like get out of the car to get back in. So here we go. So she's like in the driver's seat, gets out, and then back in. So NPCs have no problem getting into cars that have no collision detection. Okay, so now we're just going to head over to Joey's, and while we're doing that, I will read an article from the Liberty Tree. This is from the Rockstar website, and Liberty Tree, I guess, is the kind of unofficial newspaper here in Liberty City. So here's an article from July 1st, 2001. Luigi Gottarelli, owner of the notorious sex club 7, has pleaded not guilty in his trial for running premises for immoral purposes and for pandering women for profit. His lawyer said, all right, so here's a long quote, all from the lawyer. His lawyer said, my client works in entertainment. He is not a pimp. He works in adult entertainment. And yes, it's a little risque. And yes, the women take their clothes off. But this place ain't a brothel. Have you ever been to a brothel? It don't look like Mr. Gottarelli's place. Nothing at all like it, I can tell you. Sure, he sells sex, but nothing happens. And the girls are all professionals. Dancers, that is. Look, I'm a married man. Okay, so Mr. Gottarelli was rumored to be changing his legal representation. So there's the article. Okay, so here we are, and I'll point out that the sunbeams kind of like totally block the view of the car, which I guess I didn't really notice when we were in here the other time. And I'll also point out that there are no other vehicles in here during the mission. So at some point during the following cutscene where we meet Joey, the cars are spawned in, but they aren't here right now. And I was curious to see what would happen when Misty went into blue hell. Like, would there be any problem? Like, would she die falling into blue hell? Because as far as I know, that's the only way out of this building is to go into blue hell at the back of the building. I'll also point out that when we fall into blue hell, we're going to get a distance warning on the bottom of the screen. Right there, lose Misty and something or other, lose your face. There's no penalty for being far away from this person, but you do get that warning. And then it was weird. Like Misty fell like quite far away from where I did, even though presumably we entered blue hell at about the same time. So she wasn't damaged by blue hell, didn't even seem traumatized. Here I'm pointing out that you need a vehicle. Like even being in here but not pushing the horn button, like I can't get Misty to come out. But then as soon as we've activated Misty here by pushing the horn, we can get out of the car immediately, and we don't even need to get back into a vehicle the rest of the mission. We could run from here all the way down to Joey's, not in a car. But a car is required to get this mission to proceed to the next part. Okay, so we are on a little bit of a run here. It's another nice morning here in Liberty City. And Misty and I really could use some work on our cardio, but she keeps up. I have to give her credit. And so you can probably see what I'm next to here. So I'm not intending to take the subway on every mission, but this is something Misty and I did on the very first mission of the game. We rode the subway over to Luigi's. I hop on, assuming Misty is right behind me, and no, she's still on the stairs. So one nice thing about this particular subway ride is that I'm by myself, and Misty's voice is really annoying, especially in an empty subway car where she just drones on and on and on. Okay, so I think this is a quadruple speed subway ride. And again, you can get really far away from Misty. You just get a warning, but you can't possibly get so far away that you fail. There's no fail state for getting too far from Misty, even though we've pretty clearly abandoned her. Now we're at the St. Mark station, and then heading back. And let's see if Misty is still there on the stairs, waiting patiently. Okay, and there she is. And in fact, it was kind of weird. It looked like she was trying to catch her breath still. As if she didn't get to go through that catching your breath animation during the whole subway ride that I was on. Then I lost her, but she snuck up behind me. She's crafty. Okay, so we're going to take Misty on the train and take advantage of Liberty City's fine public transit system. So I skipped ahead the waiting for the train. So we get on, no problem. And then Misty passes out. I have no idea what happened right there, but Misty is morgue meat. I don't think I would hyphenate morgue meat, but probably I would never write morgue meat in the first place. Okay, so there you go. As I pointed out, one of the fail states is Misty dying. So here I got a wanted level just to see what would happen. And look at the police car by Misty. She just explodes it with the force of opening the door. That's pretty powerful. So that was the only oddity I discovered when I had police trailing me on this mission. And so I think we'll skip to the next little bit here. Oh, I also wanted to see if I could get the police to pull Misty out of the vehicle. So I really wanted the police on the passenger side, not the driver's side. And now it just busted. I guess you just get busted regardless of whether or not you have a passenger when the police come on the passenger side. Okay, so here we are back at the train. I had many attempts at the train here because there was something I was trying to do, and I tried and failed repeatedly. Misty, where? What are you doing? Like, why did she go over there? Like, I'm here. I don't know. Okay, so let's try the train again. And this time, Misty, no running into it for no reason at all. Okay, so what I was really trying to do and failed to do was to try to hop out of the train at the last second and make it so that Misty stayed on the train. And I just couldn't get it to happen. Like she would get out and then I would try to get back in and then I would try to get out real quick. And anytime I got out, she also successfully got out. And then there were a bunch of times where I got back in and the train took off and she was still outside. So I said, okay, let's try at the Chinatown station. So again, my goal is to get Misty on this train without me. So it didn't seem possible at Hepburn Heights, but it seems like it's just like a timing thing. So I get on, then she teleports over to the next door in the same subway car, and she stays on. You can see a little green dot on the mini map. So Misty is firmly on that train, and I am not. So there you go. We got Misty to take a train by herself. She's a big girl. And so here we're just going to see if we can't find Misty somewhere. So I didn't know if she was going to get off at the next station over in St. Mark's or if she was just going to stay on until I was nearby. But we're going to find out together. So I think she's probably already at or near the Chinatown station. Again, you can see the green dot on the map, like that green dot moving in the kind of funny ways that it is indicates that Misty is still on the train. It was interesting to me to see the green dot kind of jump around as opposed to like a nice smooth movement of the green dot. I guess because the train moves quite fast, and so the green dot just kind of jumps to indicate where Misty is. Okay, so this is going to be the end of Misty's full loop on the subway by herself. And so we're just waiting for it to come and hoping that she gets out. You can see the arrow on top of the train, on top of Misty. And I wanted to get in a different car, train car, way over here. Now, Misty got out, I guess, because she saw me there at the subway. But then I realized that she wasn't going to get in because I was too far away. I needed to be within her radius. So I sprint over here. Last second, we both get on, synchronized getting on. Beautiful. And then the train ride in fast forward. And then I thought that the closest subway station to Joey's wasn't here in Chinatown, but rather was the one in St. Mark's. So that's where we're headed, and we'll get off there. And then my intention is to take Misty on the subway tracks themselves. We're just going to go for a nice little run, standard stuff on the L train. And again, to her credit, Misty has been putting in the hours in the gym. She can keep up with me on a dead sprint. Like I've done paramedic, 3 times in this playthrough. Misty hasn't done it once, but still, she's right there with me. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to test was could Misty hop off of a girder and onto this building that we just passed here? So we've been on this building a couple of times to get like a hidden package and to get some like an ammo drop. There's a heart icon and an armor icon, and Misty just falls off. No effort. I don't even think she jumped. I think she just walked off. Okay, and then a short ride, a short run over to Joey's to finish the mission proper. And I will also point out that when we finish the mission, you might be able to hear the phone ringing. This phone we're passing here on the right. You can't hear it now because it's not unlocked. But once we pass, we might be within earshot. So I'll stop talking and we'll listen. We'll listen for the phone after this cutscene. mission, you can see that the J icon is on the map, which means that Joey's missions are available because I just passed the Luigi mission. And coming in just to see if those extra cars during the cutscene were here, and the answer is no, no extra cars here. It's just normal. Apparently those cars are only visible during that specific cutscene. So I think that's about all there is to say about Drive Misty for me. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.